What's up, guys? Brian Wilson, Brian Ellis here for some martial arts, and we're gonna go over a baseball and a Brabo choke. Okay, now those are lapel chokes. You can do both of them without the lapels, without the gis. I just call a Brabo choke. I call it a gi version of the Darce choke. And a baseball choke, you can definitely do no gi as well. Not going into the details on how to do it no gi today, but great option. And people always ask me like, hey, how do I get good at passing the gi? And short answer is sort of the long answer of you got to do it a lot. You got to pass the gi a bunch. But then in terms of the methods of how to integrate it into your game to have a blueprint to get better at it, you need to be passing that gi grip in everything you do. It's got to be a complete part of the game. So I'm going to show a couple options from standing that we put out on arm ride entries before, and then I will show just getting into the arm ride and choking from a guard pass, okay? So basically here, if I'm throwing him with any of the throws that we've kind of put out to go along with this arm ride stuff, let's say we'll do a kochigari here, right? So kind of keep your eyes on this hand as I draw step him, and the draw step, remember, is that. Kind of gives me a little extra time. I'm going to reap his leg. And I already pulled it out. As he was going down, I punched it and I slid down it. And then I go here, okay? So there, and like, look, this is, you can kind of do this in any sort of order of events. I can punch it out, pass it to this hand, arm ride if I need to use this hand, pass it back. I could get it out and just stay here, right? This is the hand I punch it out with. Just stay here, get the arm ride set, boom. And ultimately what I'm gonna do is come inside, grab the gi lapel I fed under for the baseball, okay? If he starts bringing his hands in to stop me, right there, I pass this over. This is what I'm saying the gi version of the Darce is, right? That's without using this hand at all. I can grab over his back, or I can kind of come underneath. You can do it without any of that. Gi version of the Darce. Brabo. Brabo means mean. It's Portuguese for mean. We talked about that in the previous video. So that's a throw to it. On this one, we'll get Brian to do the tomanog, right? Or guard pull, right? All right, so he puts foot in the hip. Look, there it is. Doing your arm ride. Here. Now we'll just go from guard. Okay, so here, what we call combat base. The theory here is if you're in this spot, it's gonna be a really long-legged person to put you in close guard. So we put this into our game so people can't put us in close guard. When you open the guard, break it, you're in this spot. Counter the guard pull, you drop down to this spot. You saw he tucked his gi in so we can illustrate the point of the hard part of this is getting it out of the belt. But we just tussled around a little bit, just like in class or a tournament, his gi was out. That happens sometimes too. I want to talk about that because sometimes the gi's already out, sometimes the belt's off. And that's the easiest set of conditions where it's like, you know, you don't have to get this distance out from the belt. Okay, so like what I do is I'm looking to slide this belt knot. Okay, now I'm just gonna grab here and this, I'm gonna punch like the underhook. And you saw I slid down right to the tail here. And now I'm controlling. When you make that switch, I'm not going into a lot of details on pressure here, but my right shoulder, like this portion of my shoulder is kind of buried into his diaphragm, all right? There's the Brabo, okay? So, guys, that's just a nice little baseball and Brabo choke. Those are both chokes I've been doing since I was like a white or a blue belt, and they always come up. And as I mentioned, I translate them over to things I do without the gi on, right? The baseball choke. I know one of my coaches and mentors over the years, William McLaughlin, he's choked a guy the week before he fought in the UFC unconscious with the no-gi baseball choke. Or trained MMA. So it can be a very functional choke to add into your game. Call it the baseball choke because of how you're gripping the gi, putting those elbows together. Brabo choke again, it's like you're using the gi to get the leverage you would normally have with your arm triangle in the Darce choke. Okay, so there's a couple cool little gi chokes there for you to work into your game. Thanks, guys.